morning and welcome to the Dawg Show, your source for the latest Empire news and sports. I'm your host, Mace Monteith.
And I'm Ava Boozer. Mace, did you have a good fall break weekend?
Actually, did I?
What's wrong?
Oh, I just assumed you were going to interrupt me and go on to the news like last time.
No, Mace, I and along with the Dawg Show are actually genuinely interested in what you did.
Oh, well, thank you, Ava. That's nice of you. I actually went to Kansas and celebrated my brother's birthday. It was really fun. What about you, Ava?
Thanks for asking, Mace. That's nice of
Okay,
you.
let's move on to this week's news. We had a busy short week and it's not over yet. Tomorrow is our second annual Fall Carnival.
We caught up with one of the sponsors about this year's event, Mrs. Sullivan.
Thanks, guys. I'm here today with one of the sponsors of this year's Fall Carnival and one of our new teachers on campus, Miss Sullivan. Miss Sullivan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. First question, what can we look forward to with this year's carnival?
So this year's Fall Carnival, we're going to have many different activities from hair painting to cakewalks and bingo, just a little bit of everything for everybody.
Good. I know you weren't here last year, but is there anything different this year?
Yes, so this year one of our main booths is going to be a car smash booth, so you could pay to smash a car with the bat, take all your frustrations out. Then Student Council is also doing a kissing booth, but it's not what you may think. You may just have to stop by to figure out what they have going on.
Okay. Finally, with this being your first year, what are you looking forward to with the carnival?
I'm really looking forward to seeing the different King and Queen candidates and the themes that they have picked and through their fundraising.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add?
So the Fall Carnival is going to be Saturday. It's 2 to 4. The King and Queens candidates will fundraise until 3 o'clock, and then at 3:45 we will announce who won for high school and middle school. You can buy tickets at the door. They're 25 cents a piece, or if you purchase them ahead of time through the elementary school, you could do 5 for $1.
Okay. Thank you for joining us today, and back to you in the Dawg Show studios.
We will talk next week with the Fall Carnival King and Queens.
Like we said before the story, it's a busy week here on the Hill, and it started with a lot of activities for our FFA.
We talked with our FFA officers about what's been going on and what's coming up.
On Monday and Tuesday, our freshman opening closing ceremonies team went to state. They did really good. They made 4th in their heat, but sadly they didn't make it to the finals.
Okay, on Wednesday we went to a cattle handling competition in Perkins, Oklahoma. 17 of us went up there to go take a 50-question test, and so far as we know, we've done pretty well in terms of us studying and preparing for the test, and our scores on the test showed that we really did try.
Hey, I'm looking at the camera. I can see.
So for the Fall Carnival, we have a pumpkin decorating contest that you find your juniors, seniors to buy tickets to vote on a pumpkin. First place will win a $25 gift card, and second place wins a $10 gift card.
Well, on Monday we have our Kid Shadow coming up, and we're going to be painting and decorating pumpkins for our Kid Shadow. And next Friday for senior night at 4:30, we have a trunk or treat coming up. And we also, in November, we have a canned food drive, and of course we have our toy drive in December.
Thanks, Mr. Lemons and the FFA officers.
There have been a lot of other activities going on this week. Wednesday, a lot of our middle school students had an AR party. Those students met their recent AR goals.
Also, this past week, Life After High School was the focus of a lot of our high school students. Wednesday, the sophomores went on a college visit to Murray State College. And Thursday, our seniors attended the Duncan Area College Fair at Cameron University.
Also today, the juniors and seniors have a college presentation in Ms. Hightower's room during 2nd and 3rd hour.
The academic team had a tune-up match before districts yesterday as they took on Waurika. And sophomores, this Monday, you will be taking the pre-ACT at Red River Technology Center from 8 to noon.
Finally, don't forget that the Bulldogs for Christ meet every week at Thursday at noon. And before we go to our Bulldog broadcast, let's see what's going on in the EMP multiverse.
Thanks, guys, and welcome to the Inside the EMP Multiverse. I'm your new host, Kennedy. Every couple of weeks, we show you what's going on with our different social media platforms. As I'm going to say in every episode, you can find the majority of our content on our YouTube channel. Shows like The Dawg Show, which you're watching now, Bulldog Book Talk with Bree and Z. This past week, they've read At the Firehouse to Miss Smiley's Kindergartners. And you can check out The Craziest State. There's also our weekly podcast we do informing about what's going on at Empire. It's called the EMP Dogcast. You can find a link on our school website or on our school's Facebook page. And speaking of Facebook, links to all of our EMP content is on our Empire Media Productions Facebook page and group. We go live every school day morning at around 9:15 on our Facebook page with News from the Hill with AJ and Lexi. The big thing you need to check out this week is our friendly rivalry between our Empire Media Production TikTok crew and our Empire Stuco TikTok crew. Well, that's it for this week's Multiverse. I still don't know what I'm going to do to send it back to the studio, but I can figure something out, and we'll just go with this. Kennedy out.
As every week, here's a look at this week's prize pups. Every week, we want to recognize elementary students that earn different classroom achievements. Keep the good work up.
In case you didn't know, we have a published author in the elementary.
Our reporter, Jade McCrae, caught up with the author of the Bella and Stella series books, Mrs. Hawkins.
Thanks, guys. I'm here today with one of our first grade teachers, Miss Hawkins. Something you might not know about Miss Hawkins is that she is a published author. She has written several children's books, and if you want to check them out, you can go to our library. But we'll let Miss Hawkins tell you about them. Miss Hawkins, thanks for joining us today.
Sure.
Tell us about your Bella and Stella series.
Okay, well, Bella and Stella series are about my two dogs. I started writing them when I was sitting at the lake one day watching them, what they do and everything, and I just jotted it down, and I thought, well, I'll just make a little poem out of it. Read it to my daughter, and she said, hey, Mom, that's a book. And I'd never thought about it before, never thought I'd ever write a book. And so my sister-in-law said, I'll illustrate it, and that's how we came about Bella and Stella go to the lake. And what I wrote about, of course, it's, animated, but it's things that they really did at the lake when we were there, and they loved going. And their favorite thing they loved to do was riding the golf cart. The minute we got there, they'd jump in the golf cart, and they would not get out until we took them around the block. And my second one is Bella and Stella Go to School. This came about is because when I worked in Yukon as a teacher, I was there all day, and my husband was a fireman, and he was gone all day. So I brought my dogs to school with me, and this is how I got the idea of Bella and Stella Go to School.
Oh.
Third book, Bella and Stella Go to the Zoo. And the reason why I wrote this book was Bella and Stella were invited to the Oklahoma City Zoo, and we sat out there and read to the children. And after that, I had the idea of Bella and Stella Go to the Zoo. My fourth book is husband is a retired Oklahoma City fireman, but Bella and Stella would go with me to visit my husband at the fire station, and they would run around. That was my idea of Bella and Stella Visit the Vet. And my fifth book is Bella and Stella Visit the Vet. This is the only book that Stella narrated. The others, Bella was telling the story. The reason why is because Bella was scared, or still is scared of the vet, and Stella never was. So Stella helps Bella through the office visit. The sad thing is I lost my little brown dog this past February. Stella passed away, but Bella is 15 now, doesn't get around much, but when they were both here, I would take them with me to schools. Each one would sit beside me, and we would read our books to the children and bring them to life, and that was so exciting. And so I had a sixth book out, and it was Bella and Stella Go on the Chisholm Trail, but I canceled it after Stella passed away because at that point I just didn't want to go on right then. But that is my series of Bella and Stella, and that's how they came about.
And how special was it when you looked at the first copy of your book?
Oh, it blew my mind because I never dreamed I would write a book, but if I can write a book, anybody can write a book. So that's what you do. You just jot down your ideas, you jot down what you want to write about, and write about it. Just go on writing.
That's pretty cool. And I know we can find them here in our library, but where else do you think we might be able to find them?
Because they were on Amazon, they were Barnes and Noble, but I pulled them because, number one, I never wrote them for money. I never cared about making money on them. I wanted to get books in children's hands. That's what I wanted. But I pulled them when I lost Stella because it just broke my heart that I lost one of my pups. So anyway, it's me. Just contact me for now.
And what would you say to someone that might be thinking about writing a book but might be a little intimidated too?
Oh, don't ever be intimidated. You know what? Go in it that you're just writing about something that you want to write about. And then after you write it, you read it and you think, I bet other people might just like to read this. Or kids, little kids, they might want to read it. So never be intimidated because you can do it. And then all you do is, if you can draw yourself, illustrate it yourself. Me, I can't draw a stick man, but I found illustrators and they did it for me.
Oh, well, that's fun. And thank you, Miss Hawkins. New York Times best-selling author, Miss Hawkins. Just kidding. Maybe someday, though. But thank you. And remember, it's Bella and Stella series of books you can find right here in our library. Now back to you.
It's been a slow week as far as activities go in the elementary, but things will be picking up next week.
The 5th grade will be attending the Duncan Machine products on Wednesday.
And be on the lookout for feathers to decorate for Filbert in the library. The book fair will begin before you know it. It's coming up on November 14th.
Before we take a look at Bulldog Sports, here's a look at your forecast.
Football season is coming to a close for our middle school. This past Tuesday, the Dogs closed out the home portion of the season with a convincing 36-0 win over Walters. The Dogs will close out their season on Monday as they travel to Carnegie. The high school is closing in on the end of the regular season as well. The Dogs dropped their last contest at Mangum last Thursday night. The Dogs look to get it back on the winning side of things tonight by traveling to Carnegie and beating the Wildcats starting at 7. The elementary basketball season continues on Monday and Tuesday. The 4th and 5th graders host Bray on Monday and Walters on Tuesday. And before you know it, wrestling season will be here. You can go to our official school website for a complete wrestling schedule. That's a look at your week of Bulldog Sports. Now back to you in the Dog Show studios.
Thanks for that sports report. That's all the time we have for the Dog Show.
On next week's show, look for another episode of the D&E Stone Double Company and, of course, all the up-to-date Empire news and sports.
We will see you back here next week.
Until next week, have a great weekend and be excellent to each other, Empire.
Deuces, Empire. Actually, Mace, let me tell you what I did over fall break.